The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a good week. A lot of rain in Southern Cal yesterday and today. Actually, past few days. It's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing getting rain when you live in a climate that doesn't rain much. Reminds me of growing up in Cleveland. Good memories. Okay, you know what I'm going to start off today talking about? I've been meaning to talk about this, and that is the dry sauna. I am a huge fan of the sauna at my gym. I love it. I seriously love it. And I actually do it before my workout. I seriously forget what I've talked about and what I haven't talked about. But again, who cares? I do it before my workouts and basically like fully dressed in workout gear with my headphones or my AirPods and my phone. I'll go into the dry sauna and I try to stay in there 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. And I do it before the workout because I actually like kind of being sweaty and then going right onto the treadmill or onto the Stairmaster or whatever, because I feel like it increases my sweat factor. So I do the sauna before. A lot of people obviously do it afterward as kind of a cool down for your muscles, or a heat up for your muscles, I should say. So that's fine as well. But the bottom line is, if you have access to a dry sauna at your gym, you should absolutely try to add that to your regimen. And really, for me, the main thing is sweating. I'm just a huge fan of sweating. I think it's truly the only way to detoxify your body and, get everything out. And so regardless of how you sweat, you should try to sweat as much as possible. I am not a fan of the steam room anymore. I used to love the steam room when I was younger and kind of had no clue about anything, but I don't like the steam room because I don't know. I don't think it's as healthy for you. And I'm going to read some things from a couple pieces of data that will kind of talk to that. But at the end of the day, the dry sauna, let's just recap, the potential health benefits. And again, especially the biggest obviously is the sweat factor, but here's a kind of a nice summary. All right. So using a dry sauna has several potential health benefits, especially if you're sweating a lot. Here's what's happening. Number one, detoxification. Sweating helps your body eliminate toxins such as heavy metals and environmental pollutants. Number two, cardiovascular health. The heat increases your heart rate and improves circulation. Oh, that's really good. Obviously, circulation is incredibly key, and that's why I advocate walking so much and moving up and down so that blood circulates. So it says that circulation is beneficial for heart health. Number three, muscle recovery. Heat relaxes muscles, reduces soreness, and can aid in faster recovery after workouts. Okay, obviously that makes sense then to do it after the workout. I don't know. I like to do it before. Maybe I'll do it both. Number four, stress reduction. Saunas promote relaxation by triggering and releasing endorphins to reduce stress and improve mood. It doesn't really do that for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because there's like 12 dudes in there with me. Okay, number five, skin health. Sweating opens up pores, which can help clear out impurities and promote healthier skin. I absolutely agree with that. And I've noticed improvements in my skin when I'm doing the sauna on a regular basis. Number six, improved immune function. Some research suggests regular sauna use can stimulate the production of white blood cells, enhancing immune response. Oh, that's actually amazing. That I'll have to look into that more and see if there's significant data behind that. But obviously, your white blood cells are, the key things that are part of your immune system, and really more than anything, they help fight infection and disease. That's why a lot of times, like when somebody might be in sepsis or have some type of infection, one of the markers that they look at to to see if you have some type of infection going on is your white blood cell count. And when that thing is like super high, they know that it's almost like your body's way of telling everyone and triggering that, hey, there's something going on here. There might be an infection. So we've created like a gajillion more white blood cells. And that's why that count is high. So that helps doctors know, especially infectious disease doctors, know that something's going on and you've got some type of internal infection. All right, number 7 is metabolism boost. While not a replacement for exercise, the increased heart rate and sweating can slightly boost calorie burn. Okay, that's stupid. Number 8, better sleep. The post-sauna cooling process can help regulate sleep cycles, leading to deeper sleep. I believe that, but I mean, I think that's a little challenging. It's not like most people, unless you have like a home sauna or something, you can't really go into that before you go to sleep. Although I do know a few people that have hot tubs at their house, and when they are having trouble sleeping, they will fire up the hot tub and then go to bed after a hot tub session. Okay. If a certain person is listening, she knows who I'm talking about. All right, that's a little inside joke. Okay, now let me get into something. Let's talk about the steam room real quick. I don't really use it anymore, and I don't really like it. And mainly because I did it one time years ago, and I went into the steam room, not even kidding. This is a true story. I was in there for like 3 or 4 minutes. Some dude walks in like 30 seconds, bro sneezed like 3 times, and it just was like a powerful sneeze. So I was like, oh my God, this guy's probably sick, and he's probably like opening up his airways by coming into the damn steam room. So I got out of there immediately, and I literally woke up sick the next day. I think that scarred me, but it is kind of gross overall if you think about that. Anyway, here are some potential benefits of the steam room. It does open up the airways. It says the warm, humid air can help loosen mucus and clear congestion. Okay. Number 2, it hydrates the respiratory system. Unlike the dry sauna, which removes moisture, steam rooms add humidity, which can soothe dry nasal passages and throat irritation. I would say maybe just get a humidifier for your house if you need to do that. And then again, promotes relaxation. Now, here's the possible concerns. And aside from catching somebody's virus because they sneezed in your sauna or your steam room, here are the things that really has caused me not to use the steam room anymore. And it says concerns for lung health, bacteria, and mold growth. Because of the constant moisture, steam rooms can be a breeding ground for bacteria and mold, which could be problematic if you have asthma, allergies, or other respiratory sensitivities. And that makes a lot of sense. And again, that's pretty gross. Irritation of some conditions. If you have asthma or COPD, the intense humidity can sometimes make breathing feel more difficult instead of easier. Okay. Exposure to chemicals. Some steam rooms use essential oils or disinfectants that could irritate sensitive lungs. Okay, I hear that. I think a lot of times, sometimes you go in there, there's a nice eucalyptus. That's good. But anyway, summary on that. Big fan of the dry sauna. Highly recommend that you add that to your mix if you could. You know, God, I really have talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again. There's also those heating blankets. It's almost like you climb inside a little blanket. I tried that. Actually, my brother turned me on to that. He uses it and he loves it. I bought one and I tried it, and I don't know, man. I felt claustrophobic in that thing. I couldn't do it. Plus, honestly, I just couldn't sit still long enough inside. It's almost like climbing into a sleeping bag that then heats up, and it does make you sweat. So those things, you can get those things for like, I don't know, maybe 75 to 150 bucks. If it's something you want to try, maybe try it. And if you actually are okay with, I guess, the feelings of claustrophobia inside that sleeping bag blanket, or you are able to calm yourself down. That's my problem. I literally can't like calm myself down for 20 minutes to do that. I don't know why. I really can't do that. So But if you feel like you can, that might be a good idea too. One of these heating blankets instead of, or if you don't have access to a dry sauna, potentially adding that to your health mix. All right, that's the health faction of today's episode. All right, next up, I want to bring some clarity and closure and really overall information to this whole USAID, whatever, United States Agency of International Development. And this will be a little bit of a, I guess, build on what I talked about the other day. But fundamentally, I am really glad they are completely either dismantling this thing or they are really looking into it, because in all honesty, I've done a bunch of research on it. And again, here's the thing. It has done good. It really has. I can't say that it's a complete scam and they've pillaged billions and billions of taxpayer dollars. They absolutely have done humanitarian aid and relief work. But where I net out on it, and this is the God's honest truth, I truly think all of that was and is and was done in order to be able to do the nefarious stuff behind it, in order to use it as cover. And it really comes down to that, covert regime change and doing things in certain markets and countries that our government wants to do. And so they have to do something good. They have to go into that country and basically say, hey, it's the United States. We're here to, help you guys. This is USAID, our Agency for International Development. So we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I really do think they've done that. They absolutely have. So there's good there, but unfortunately, the nefarious behind the scenes stuff, that good gives the cover for that. And let me give you some real concrete examples. And even before I do that, so think about it. This is a agency that has over 10,000 employees worldwide. They are in 100 countries, actually over 100 countries, with an annual budget of almost $40 billion. And this has been around since 1961. I'm not going to lie, and I'd ask you to ask yourself, I never knew this existed until 20 days ago, 10 days ago. I really didn't. I have never heard of this organization. And honestly, I did like a little survey among a few different friends. I mean, it was only 5 of them, but it was 5 for 5. Nobody knew about this until 30 days ago. Seriously, I'd ask you, did you know about this organization until all this scuttlebutt has happened over the past, 20 days or whatever? Honestly, I think that answer is going to be no. And so fundamentally, that's the real problem. The problem is that we as a country, we have no idea that an organization this big with a budget of $40 billion and 10,000 employees in over 100 countries even exists, and that it's been doing this since 1961. How crazy is that? All right, let me just give you some specifics. Afghanistan, nation building after the U.S. invasion. So USAID's role was funding education for girls, infrastructure, and women's empowerment. This is in Afghanistan after we invaded in, I think, 2002, right? So basically, was there regime change? Yes. How much was spent? $144 billion in just the education for girls and infrastructure over the next 20 years. Think about that. And remember, in total in Afghanistan, it was close to $8 trillion was spent in that 20-year forever war. Haiti, here's another country that's been just a complete mess. So post 2010 earthquake and then also a 2021 assassination, USAID's role was to provide billions in earthquake recovery aid. Okay. Was there a regime change? This actually says it's indirect. While USAID's role was viewed as humanitarian, many critics argue that the U.S. support of certain Haitian leaders and economic policies imposed through the aid influenced Haiti's political landscape from then on. And actually, I remember Professor Jeffrey Sachs talking about how I don't know the guy's name. I don't remember his name, but literally he was talking about how the former president of Haiti said, "Hey, I'm going to get taken out," and how he's like, "No, we're not going to do that to you." And the dude got taken out. I'll have to do a deep dive in that. All right, here's the next one, Ukraine. And this takes it back to that 2014, revolution that took place where we basically, through USAID, we funded anti-corruption, independent media, and pro-democracy groups in order to remove the democratically elected pro-Russian, that's the key part of this, pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych. Was there regime change? Yes. USAID's funding of the civil society groups played a key role in strengthening the opposition and led to the ousting of Yanukovych. That one's probably one of the best examples. That's like a textbook example of that. Venezuela, oh my God, it happened in Venezuela. It happened in Bolivia. It happened in Cuba. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all these again, but that's my net on USAID, United States Agency for International Development. I net on it as I'm very glad it is getting dissected the way it is, and I think there's an absolute ton of waste, fraud, and abuse in that, and I really applaud Trump and I applaud Elon for calling that out. Now, I hope they don't create their own version of this on the back of it and we end up with the same thing from the other side. But fundamentally, I will say now, I hope you have a firm grasp of this whole thing. All right, next up, I've been meaning to play this for a while. This was an interview Mark Zuckerberg did on Joe Rogan, and I haven't even listened to the whole thing, but the clips are just pretty funny. But I want to play this. It's only 30 seconds. I mean, more than anything, it just speaks to really in many ways what took place during 2020 and with COVID. And obviously, if Mark Zuckerberg, again, the super high profile face of Meta, obviously there's gotta be truth to all this. Now, the flip side of it is, it's like, I think he's so duplicitous now that he's completely like kowtowed and changed his tune. I don't think that gives him any real credibility, but is there credibility to what he's saying? And do you believe that the Biden administration did exert this pressure? You kind of have to.
Pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration.
I am literally just realizing I think I played that clip already. But anyway, regardless, it's worth listening to again. I believe him. I think that the Biden administration did tell him to do it, but I also think he's kind of a cuck for actually doing it. But then again, who knows? Maybe if I was CEO in that position, I would have done the same thing. So, all right, there's that. All right, next up, I've been wanting to play this clip for a while, and actually, I think Alan is going to come on the podcast, so that's kind of exciting. But give this a listen. This guy is legit, man. He is a former military veteran, and listen to what he says.
I know war. What's going on in Palestine right now is not a war. My name is Shabarro. I was with 3rd Special Forces Group. I was a sniper, assaulter, and a breacher. I know war. What's going on in Palestine right now is not a war. It's the genocide, it's the ethnic cleansing of a specific people to take their land. This is wrong. And there's nothing more American than speaking out against what's wrong. The U.S. taxpayer is paying for this, which makes it even more frustrating. I'm paying for this. I am an American. I'm a patriot. This needs to stop. This needs to stop.
All right, so that was him a few months ago. I think that was at a big Senate congressional meeting. Anyway, I did reach out to him. We have been going back and forth, and I think I'm going to be able to get him to come on. I think that'll be fascinating. Not only talking about that, I mean, we'll probably talk about that for sure, but man, I'd love to understand what is it like being a sniper and like being that, I guess, badass to an extent, but also that involved in war. I mean, I think that'll be pretty damn interesting. So anyway, there's that. All right, let me see what else I want to play today. You know what? We're at 21 minutes. I will not play anything else. Although I am going to play for you a little music. It's been a few episodes since I've played some music. This is awesome. This dude on TikTok basically takes songs and he isolates the vocals. So somehow he takes the background music out. There was another site I used to look at. I'm totally blanking on what that was. That does the same thing, but it's really cool when he isolates the vocals. So anyway, have a great weekend. Call a spade a spade. This is one of my favorite songs. He's going to isolate the vocals from Mr. Brightside from The Killers. All right, everybody.
Have you ever heard just the isolated vocal tracks from this song by The Killers? Well, I think Mr. Brightside is one of the best songs of all time, so I'm going to strip away the music and just play the vocal track from that song. When that chorus hits, you cannot help but sing along. Listen to this.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. And I just can't look, it's killing me and taking control. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, joking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay, destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.
That was a great way to end it.
This episode was brought to you by the new book, Deep Shallow Dive Into You, available now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in hardcover and paperback. Don't forget to sign up for our new mailing list on our website at deepshallowdive.com.